Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to plunge into some really fascinating topics, pull out the key insights, and get you up to speed quickly. Today, we're diving into something that honestly kind of bends the mind. The holographic display market. It sounds like straight-up science fiction, right? But it's actually becoming a fundamental part of our reality, and fast. Our mission here is to explore the sources you gave us, unpack the really important stuff, and understand how this tech is moving, beyond movies and into our actual lives.
And what's really striking, I think, isn't just what it is, but the why now. We're not talking decades away. This technology is here, and its growth curve. Well, it's pretty astonishing. It suggests we're right on the edge of this huge wave of adoption. It signals a really profound shift in how we interact with digital information, probably on a scale most people haven't quite grasped yet.
You said huge wave, maybe even explosion, and the numbers. Yeah, they definitely back that up. We're talking about the global holographic display market being worth USD 10.25 billion in 2024. But get this. It's projected to absolutely surge to USD 107.24 billion by 2033. That's a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of nearly 30%. Almost 30% every year between 2025 and 2033. It's massive.
It really is.
And we zoom in a bit on just the touchable holographic displays. That segment's even more dynamic. It's set to jump from about $2.2 billion in 2024 to almost $3 billion in just 2025. That's a CAGR over 31% for that 1 year alone, and it keeps climbing, right? To nearly $9 billion by 2029. It really feels like imagination imploding into market reality.
Exactly. And that kind of exponential growth, it's not just a blip on a chart. It clearly shows a technology moving from, a niche thing into the mainstream fast. And the surge isn't just about the displays themselves. Think about what's needed behind them. It points to this huge underlying demand for the content, yes, but also the sheer computing power to render these complex visuals. That's where things like the render network become so important. It's basically a decentralized way to pool GPU power globally to create these incredibly detailed 3D scenes.
Right, because rendering that kind of stuff takes serious muscle.
Immense.
Okay, so we see these staggering numbers, this incredible surge. But what exactly is fueling it? What are the engines of innovation here?
Well, it's really a convergence, a coming together of several key things. First, just the expanding range of applications. It's moving way beyond just entertainment. We're seeing rising demand for really immersive experiences at events, for promotions, pretty much across the board. Second, you've got the constant evolution and growing use of augmented reality and virtual reality. AR and VR holography kind of offers the next step, right? A way towards more realistic, more comfortable, immersive experiences, building on what AR and VR have started.
Okay, so it's not replacing them necessarily, but building on them,
Yeah.
integrating.
Precisely. It fits into that whole ecosystem. Then there's broader integration in places like education and retail, plus, the growing demand for virtual events, the big shift towards remote work. All these trends create needs for better 3D interaction than just a flat screen.
Makes sense.
And finally, maybe most importantly, the technological advancements themselves. Constant innovation is making them better, more functional. Think improvements in user interfaces that give you tactile feedback so you can actually feel the hologram.
Wow, tactile feedback.
Yeah. And adding AI to create personalized holographic experiences. It all makes them more appealing, more useful.
Okay, so you might be listening and thinking, this sounds cool, but where is it actually happening? Like right now.
Right.
This is where we really dive in. Let's look at how holography is impacting specific industries today, delivering real value.
Absolutely. And the impact is already, profound in some areas you might not expect. Take healthcare and medical imaging. It's really becoming a leader there. It allows for these incredibly precise 3D renderings of complex anatomy for diagnostics, planning treatments, even guiding surgery in real time.
Real-time surgical guidance.
Yeah, think about real-view imaging. They have an FDA-cleared system, the holoscopy. It creates interactive 3D holograms of organs floating right there in the air based on ultrasound or CT data. Surgeons can literally manipulate these images in the air during an operation for guidance. It's even had first-in-human testing.
That is genuinely mind-blowing, like actually interacting with a 3D heart hologram during surgery.
Pretty much. And beyond the OR, it's changing medical education. Students can practice on holographic patients, do virtual dissections. It helps deal with things like cadaver shortages, too.
Right.
So because it's so critical and because of the tough regulations, this is a really high-value, solid market segment.
Okay, so from life-saving surgery, let's jump to something maybe a bit more everyday. What about entertainment?
Definitely a big one. In entertainment and gaming, it's all about deeply immersive experiences. Think theme parks, concerts, museum exhibits, and of course, gaming itself. Companies like Looking Glass Factory, for example, are making displays where groups and people can see 3D content together without needing individual headsets. That's key for shared experiences.
So no goggles needed for everyone.
Exactly. And looking ahead, people are predicting things like watching sports games play out, holographically on your coffee table, or having much more enhanced virtual travel experiences. Imagine really feeling like you're there.
Okay, the coffee table sports game. I could get behind that. No more fighting over the best seat.
Maybe.
What about the commercial world?
Yeah.
How are businesses using this? Advertising, retail.
Oh, yeah. In advertising and retail, these 3D holographic displays are super effective. They just grab attention way better than flat screens. They can evoke stronger emotional responses, create really compelling brand experiences. You might see things like HYPVSN's Rotor displays those spinning LED fans that create images, or their holographic human solutions. These are used for really impactful product demos or interactive ways to engage customers in stores. They really draw you in.
I think I've seen those. They look futuristic.
They do. And then moving to more high-stakes areas, defense and military. Holograms are a huge enhancement there for strategic planning, visualizing the battlefield, complex training simulations. Companies like Axiom Holographics provide multi-user holographic tech to groups like the U.S. Marines, Lockheed Martin. It helps improve situational awareness, allows for collaborative command and control, integrating data from drones in real-time 3D. Because precision and real-time info are so vital, it's another substantial high-value market.
That makes total sense for planning and coordination. It seems like a theme. Visualization for complex situations, like in education, too.
That's a great point. Both fields, military and education, rely heavily on immersive training and detailed visualization, right? So, for education and training more broadly, holograms can really transform how things are taught. Imagine students interacting with realistic 3D anatomical models or historical figures or complex machinery. And you can create these immersive training simulations that cut down on the cost and the risks of doing live exercises. Safer, often more effective learning.
So whether it's a soldier or a student, it's about that realistic interaction.
Exactly. And that connects to communication and collaboration, too. People are envisioning holographic conference calls, where participants actually feel like they're sitting across the table from each other, even if they're miles apart.
Like Star Wars?
Sort of. It creates a much better sense of shared space than just looking at faces on a screen. Leia Inc.'s tech, for instance, is already working on 3D video chat to make interactions feel richer, more natural.
Okay, that could change remote work dynamics significantly.
Definitely. And think about design, engineering, and the whole digital twin concept. Holographic displays are invaluable here. Visualizing complex CAD models, architectural designs, laser scans of entire cities, point cloud data, all in true 3D space. It means you can have virtual prototypes, you can walk around, test structural integrity digitally, run simulations using digital twins. Huge efficiency gains.
Designing a car and seeing it holographically before building anything.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into the automotive sector itself. They're developing new holographic transparent head-up displays, HUDs, for windshields. The idea is to project multiple pieces of information seemingly floating in the driver's view, overcoming some limits of current HUDs.
So information just appears out there on the road ahead.
That's the goal, yeah. Safer, more integrated.
So with all these applications exploding globally, geographically, who's leading this holographic revolution? Where's the action?
Well, in 2024, North America actually had the biggest slice of the touchable holographic display market. But looking forward, the forecast is that Asia-Pacific will be the fastest growing region. That really high growth rate there signals strong demand, increasing adoption. It means massive opportunities, especially for the infrastructure guys like Render Network, who power it all.
Right. The demand for rendering power follows the display adoption.
Absolutely. And pulling it all together, the bigger picture, the real long-term value here goes way beyond just consumer fun. It's these enterprise and industrial uses driven by critical needs like better situational awareness and defense, collaborative design, precise medical training, real-time data visualization. These represent really substantial high-value markets. They need consistent high-fidelity rendering. That makes the whole holographic market incredibly resilient, Lots of different avenues for growth.
So what's the bottom line here? What does this all mean for you, the listener?
I think the core takeaway is that this holographic market is way more diverse, much more impactful than maybe we first think. It's not just flashy sci-fi stuff. Its strength, its resilience, comes from being driven by serious, high-stakes applications in industry, medicine, defense. It's a really compelling example of tech moving from a niche curiosity to becoming an essential tool in critical sectors. It's changing how we see and interact with information.
And that leaves us with a pretty big question to ponder, doesn't it? Given this exponential growth, these diverse applications hitting critical industries, how might the widespread adoption of holography fundamentally change our perception of reality, our interactions? Not just at work, but, in our everyday lives. Are we heading towards a world layered with digital objects and floating 3D information?
Definitely a lot to think about there. Thank you for joining us on this.